Hi, lovelies. Thank you for joining me this week for the free weekly reading. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Sarah Martucci. I'm a psychic medium, certified crystal healer, paranormal investigator. I do a little bit of everything. I like making jewelry. I like talking to trees. Yeah, you heard me. I like believing that Sasquatch is real. Let me have it. Don't at me. Let me have it. Pretty much anything weird and strange, I'm all the fuck about it. You guys, welcome to the free weekly reading. This is where I pull 3 piles of cards. You pick any and all that you're drawn towards. I then interpret those cards. You can see what the week ahead message is for you. But first, we start with this little something called astrofuckery. This week I gotta make the video super short. Got things I gotta do because it's fucking Aries season, so there's that, number 1. Also, too, if you're noticing that people are maybe a little more aggressive, not only is it Aries season, but we've got this new moon coming up on the 31st, 1st, depending on where you live, in the sign of Aries. And Mercury just moved into Aries as of the 27th as well. So people are fiery right now. Maybe things are a little more blunt, a little more caustic with the way that we're talking. Mars hasn't reached Aries yet, but I promise you when it will, we'll fucking feel it. But at least for right now, the way that we're communicating, the way that we're talking, even, you know, the setting that we're in, and then moving into this new moon on the 31st first is going to have us kind of like really feeling like there's a fire lit under our butt. We got things we got to do today. So also too with Pisces season, it can make you feel slow, emotional, all over the fucking place. Aries has 0 time for that. Patience is not a virtue here. So maybe the best way to kind of combat some of this funkiness that's going on is to make sure that you're slow and steady with your words, that you're not just saying the first thing that comes to your fucking brain. Make sure that whenever you communicate, we're still taking time to say what we truly mean, but also doing it in a way where we're not hurting people. Just do the best that you can. I understand nobody's running for Jesus. Not asking for that. Just take things slow and simple. Keep it simple. Be direct in the way that you're still communicating, but just make sure you're not fucking anybody's feelings up on the way there. You don't need to fist fight your way to happiness. Okay? All right. But whatever's going on at this new moon for you guys, just know that it's going to get you engaged in life again. That's the feeling of it. I even want to say too, I feel like with Mercury involved in this new moon as well, this is going to be lots of exchange of information. Maybe information's coming up that you've been waiting on for a hot minute. Maybe this is the time where you say how you really fucking feel. Aries being a Mercury is just going to have you saying everything. So again, just make sure that we're communicating in a way, is this helpful? Is this truthful? Is this kind? I think that's a good 3 things to go by, okay? Just make sure we're going by those 3 prereqs and you guys should be good to go. But wherever Aries sits in your chart, look to your rising sign to know what house it sits in. Just know that it's going to be shining a spotlight on that. We get a brand new beginning in this space. So really sit down and think about, with Mercury also being a part of this, what it is that you really want. What are you ready to go after? Where's that fire lit for you? And are you ready to go get the fucking brass ring? Quit waiting on others too, or waiting for that go sign. Aries is their own green light and red flag. So, I mean, show me where I'm wrong here, okay? So just make sure, again, that we're thinking things all the way through before we go and take action on it. Aries is known for taking action and asking questions later. So the best way to combat that, be present, be here in the moment, and be present with your thoughts and your feelings. Make sure that you're not being reactionary, that we're really coming from a place of honestly trying to communicate, honestly trying to start something brand new and fresh here. The last thing I want to say about it is that Aries isn't necessarily known for finishing projects. They're really great at beginning them, getting that initial, stage, that excitement, putting all that energy into it, but they're not great at wrapping it up. So make sure whatever we start here at the new moon, make sure it's got lasting power, or that you really feel as though this is something that I'm willing to invest my time, my energy, my love into, because whatever we're starting the fire up with here, it may not be able to be put out. This is the first new moon of Aries of the year too. And, being in Aries season, we're in a fresh, brand new season. This is the new cycle. This is the new year and the zodiac wheel. So just know, new beginnings, new fresh starts abound all around. Be kind, be gentle, be thoughtful to the best of your ability. Be patient, not only with other people, but please with yourself too. Take a deep breath, okay? Even this transit, this Mercury transit through Aries is only like 2 weeks long. And then it moves into Taurus. Like, Aries just ain't fucking around. So If you got things you got to do right now, go get them fucking done. Use this energy, channel this chaos into something that's really important to you. You guys got this. All right. If you guys have enough of that astrofuckery, I have. The next screen, I'm going to pull the 3 piles of cards, pick any and all that you're drawn towards, and then I'll interpret those piles. See you guys in a sec. All right, if you guys pick card pile number 1, here's your beautiful cards. Your very first card is a major arcana card. Talk about major change, major evolution, major movement forward. You got the Tower. Let's talk about it. Second card you got is the 2 of Coins. And then final card you got is the 4 of Swords. Let's speak on it. So I want to say with this card combination, essentially, long story short, this feels like some kind of big upheaval, some kind of calamity, some kind of disaster. It kind of feels like everything's burning around you right now. Maybe literally, maybe figuratively. With the Tower here, too, if you notice, the person was holding a house on their back. So there's this feeling here that I'm like literally holding everything together. Or if it feels as though maybe everything is falling apart, I've been the only one holding it together. Maybe this can talk about like your actual home, maybe trying to hold on to your home. Maybe we've had a loss of home here. Or maybe that's one of our fears and our worries. Whatever's going on here, it's really making us feel like this is sudden change. This is coming the fuck out of the blue. Or there's almost a feeling here that like maybe all this change and everything that's happening right now, even though it may not be necessarily bad, is making us feel as though everything is fucking falling apart. May I also help you to recognize when the Tower shows up, whatever we have built here and that is falling apart was not built well to begin with, okay? And so after this whole Tower situation, after this whole blow the fuck up moment, at this point now we've got the 2 of Coins and we're kind of like really trying to balance things out. We're trying to figure out a pathway forward. There's a lot of agitation with this too. Maybe we're pissed off. It is Aries season, okay? So maybe we're pissed off about what happened. It feels like it's all our responsibility. We're trying to balance this the fuck out and figure out where the fuck we're going. A lot of times, too, the 2 of Coins can even talk about, like, financial instability. So maybe there's a financial situation going on here. Or maybe there was some kind of huge thing with the house that we had to put all this money into, and now we're left kind of figuring out, what the fuck do I do with my finances? Look, finally, with the 4 of Swords here, it's saying, look, if you want to find a solution, you want to get through this, chill the fuck out. Number 1. Number 2, this card, the 4 of Swords, always reminds me, it's like the lower octave of like the Hermit. So just go in 0 dark 30. Shh, go quiet. Shut the fuck up. Sit down with yourself and listen to what your intuition is telling you. Listen to your thoughts and let yourself kind of process and meditate upon what your next steps are. Not only can you come out of this, but like this quiet time that you need is like also going to help you to recalibrate around what's most important to you. What are those next steps that I take? And with this being air here in Swords, it's going to be logical and practical and realistic. No pie in the sky bullshit fluff. So whatever the fuck blew up, recognize that you needed a recalibration anyways. We need to figure this out, whether this financially, whether this talks about career and business, whether this talks about love relationships, whatever the fuck is going on for you right now. Sit down and look for the balance in all of this. Also, too, how's this financially fucking you? There's that. And then finally, with that 4 of Swords, guys, just sit down and be quiet, be reflective, contemplate, meditate on the issue at hand, and recognize that whatever was built here and that fell apart wasn't built well to begin with, number 1. And now we got to figure out a way either how to make this work, or maybe to let it go, or maybe financially, how do I get myself back on track so I can make sure I'm really headed towards what it is that I want. Trust yourself, please. And just know that you can handle whatever the fuck comes your way. You've got this. You've got this. You've got this. You've got this. All right. And if you pick card pile number 2, here's your beautiful cards. Your first one is the 8 of Cups. Second card is the 5 of Swords. And the final card is the 3 of Coins. All right. So the skinny on this one is... feels like we're abandoning, moving away from difficulties within our relationships. Honestly, long story short. So essentially, first with the 8 of Cups, this is a card of abandonment, moving on, and escapism. So maybe we've been escaping, and especially with Cups here, the way that we feel. Maybe we've been escaping something our intuition's been telling us. But here's what people don't talk about with the 8 of Swords, the 8 of Cups too. But like the 8 of Cups here really kind of talks about like moving on from like really sad, fucked up situations into hope. because the next card after that is the Nine of Cups, which is like a wish fulfilled, fulfillment. So we've got to let something go here emotionally that's been holding us back in terms of our relationships. The reason why I'm saying that is with the Five of Swords here connected with the Three of Coins. The Five of Swords is like question marks around, is this self-determination or is this self-destruction? What the fuck are we working towards? And then the Three of Pentacles is partnership, really working with another person or maybe a third party here, whoever we're deciding to work with in partnership. How do we do that? First, we need to be clear around what are the objectives within this relationship, whether this be career, love, friendship, finance, doesn't fucking matter. Two people farting back and forth for forever. Whatever the fuck it is, we got to do this as a partnership. So there's a feeling here with this that like get clear upon, is this self-destruction or self-determination? What are we working towards? That clarity is going to give us the idea about whether or not this is partnership is real or not. But can I say with this Three of Coins, this partnership is real? We need to move away from these limiting beliefs, these limiting feelings around that everything's hopeless, you know, that I feel like I have to escape from my life, or I feel like I have to escape from these bad situations. So I want to actually say with like this card pull, this is really more about like stopping the escapist bullshit, really sitting down and abandoning those feelings that are just keep doing nothing but like telling you that like maybe you're full of shit or the other person's full of shit or like you can't trust anybody. Whatever old paradigm is kind of playing around here, especially emotionally, make sure to go to the root of that and see where the fuck it is and where it's coming from. Make sure it's actually like, maybe, is this really your intuition talking, or is this your fear and your worry talking? So question marks around that. But I want to say with this card combo, if there's question marks around trusting someone this week, I feel like you can trust your partner. This feels like more like a personal journey that you're going through, that we need to let go of some heavier feelings or some heavier sad stuff and move into the feelings of hope. Especially around partnerships. You deserve to be in partnerships that work, that are reciprocal, that are good, that are loving, and that also too have a common goal that they're working towards. So if we don't have that this week, question marks around self-determination or self-destruction. And now if we're able to communicate and get this down, just lay it the fuck out, I don't see anything wrong here, especially with the Three of Coins again. This is beautiful partnership. This is making money together. This is maybe creating a home together. This is creating a structured plan that we both are clear around what the objectives are, and we're moving deftly and assuredly towards this end goal. So no matter what you do this week, communicate around what your needs are. Move away from this escapist way of thinking about things. You're not keeping yourself safe. You're keeping yourself alone. And ain't nobody got time for that. Start moving towards hope and recognize and remember that you control how this goes. So it's going to behoove you to be like mentally focused on what you do want, not your fears and worries. Thank your fears and worries for trying to keep you safe, but where you're going and what you got to do, you can no longer afford to do that. Trust your partnerships this week. Question what you're doing and how you're looking at them, okay? Look, no matter what, go towards hope. That's where your heart belongs. That's where you belong. And no matter what happens in terms of this partnership, again, I have a good feeling here that we can trust this other person. Just get clear on the objectives, and guys, green lights go. All right? All right. And finally, if you guys pick card pile number 3, here's your beautiful cards. Your first one is the Two of Swords. Second card is the Page of Coins. And your final card is the Page of Cups. So let's talk about it. So I want to say this card combination has me feeling like, especially with the Two of Swords, like we've been at a stalemate with something that we've been thinking about. Whatever the situation is, it kind of feels like we're stuck in indecision. We don't know, maybe we don't want to compromise. Maybe we don't know how to compromise. Maybe mentally too, we just feel stuck in the middle. We feel like at a crossroads, genuinely. And so like, which way do we pick? What do we do? It's interesting because with the Page of Coins here, we've been concentrating and analyzing, maybe even discovering wealth around. I want to say with the Page of Cups here, our relationships. Anytime cups show up, they're going to talk about our relationships, not only with other people, but with ourselves. So maybe we've been looking at something here and concentrating on a relationship, looking at it, like really truly looking at it. The Page of Coins is like analyzing, concentrating, looking at every single nook and cranny. This is the earth element. They need it to be practical and they need it to be realistic. If it's not either one of those things, it ain't real. They want security. And so we're looking at this relationship and we're making sure, is it really secure? Is this really a discovery of wealth? Is this a beautiful thing that I think that it is? And you guys, with the Page of Cups here, yeah, I want to say to you, like, this is real. This is true love. Okay. So whatever questions we have around this relationship this week, also don't be surprised. And that's a part of the card too, the Page of Cups. If we get a surprise message this week of love, again, whether this be friendship, family, relationships in terms of, people being together romantically, this is a business relationship, whatever relationship is on blast here this week, please know that it's real and that it's true. It's real. It's real and it's true. So maybe it's time to come to terms with that and move out of that middle space where we keep going back and forth, because a lot of times I have found through all the myriad of work that I've done and within my own life that whenever we go back and forth like that is because we're not being honest and truthful with ourselves around the way that we actually feel. And sometimes too, that Two of Swords can talk about fear coming up. So again, this is a call to be here and present in the moment. Really be honest with the way that you feel. Look at this situation in a realistic manner. No fluff, no bullshit. Look at it and really, does this thing, would this be able to stand the test of time? I want to say that it has so far. So whatever's going on here, this isn't anything brand new. Anytime the earth element comes up, this is slow but steady. Okay. And even with the water here too, this is slow but steady. So I want to say maybe the only place we're moving quickly is mentally, even though our situation is calling for maybe setting up for the long term instead of setting up for short term. So maybe that's a part of the issue of going back and forth too. So maybe this week it's a perspective flip. We're clear around the way that we think and that we feel about this. We've really taken the time to look at this thing and make sure that it's good. It's got a good foundation. This makes sense, that this is realistic and pure and good. And with the Page of Cups here, I promise you guys, it's almost like surprise love. Surprise, it's love. Like, this could be like a birth announcement coming up this week. If you've been waiting to have a kid, this could be a message coming from a loved one telling you like they're in love with you. This could be, a message from family. Maybe if you guys have had a fallout and they're saying, I love you and I'm sorry I've thought about it. I was a jerk. Whatever surprise message comes this week, welcome it with open arms, okay? And just trust that it's real and that it's true. And that so far, if it has stood the test of time, it will continue to. Trust that and everything that's coming through with it, guys. And congratulations. Yay for card pile number 3. All right, you guys, I hope to God that made fucking sense. Let a sister know. Middle fingers for no, call for yes. Any and all feedback helps me to grow. So thank you, guys. Let me know what card pile you picked. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will talk with you soon. Bye.